If you've hit 100K in your business, but you feel stuck trying to scale to half a million plus, then you're in the right place. But before we dive into today's video, if we haven't already met, hey, I'm Jen, clinical hypnotherapist, mindset expert, and manifestation coach with a degree in psychology. And I help ambitious, successful women easily scale their business to multiple six figures and beyond while actually working less, not more. So let's dive into today's topic. In today's video, I'm breaking down why scaling past 100K feels impossible and the three-step process to reach half a million while reclaiming your time and your life. And the first thing we really need to address, and this is a big elephant in the room, is what we call this 100K trap. And the thing is the reality of 100K today is that it doesn't get you very far compared to $100,000, say 10, 15 years ago. When I started my first business, it was back around 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. And at the time, I was only making 75K in my business, but that still gave me a good quality of life. 75K got me quite far and gave me some extras. And the thing is I looked these numbers up. So the purchasing power of $100,000 today, or I guess 10 years ago, $100,000 would now take us $148,000 today. So that 100K I would have made back in 2010, I would need $148,000 to have the same quality of life. And that's insane. And that's why when you hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, six figures is you've made it. When you get to six figures, it's this big milestone, this big goalpost that we all reach for. It's that first big aha, I've made it, look at me." And that's great to have that goal, but you shouldn't want to stop there because it really doesn't give you the quality of life that you probably are looking for. If you're like me and you want that time and financial freedom and you want to live a really nice life and be able to do what you want when you want, then you need to make more than $100,000. And that's why I built this video is because that half a million dollars, that's true freedom. That 500K a year, you could pretty much do anything you want when you want. You could live an amazing life. And I want to see that for you. I want to see you easily scale past hitting 100,000 and move well on to half a million plus. And first, I want to congratulate you on actually hitting the $100,000 because many women, like I said, don't even get there. Only 12% of female entrepreneurs actually hit six figures or more in their business. And you're now one of those 12%. And you've probably done, got here the same way everyone else did: hustle, hard work, and drive. You worked your butt off. You were ambitious. You knew what you wanted. You knew that this business was going to give you that lifestyle, that this was how you wanted to make a living, that you wanted to be home for your children. You wanted to have that money to live a nice life. And you worked your ass off to get here. But now that you're here and you want to scale beyond, at that six-figure level, it almost feels impossible when you're already working those 40 plus hour weeks. Even if you're working 35, 30 hours, that's still a lot of hours during the day. Yes, it's maybe less than you were working in corporate, but that's probably not what you dreamed of when you started your business. You started your business for time and financial freedom. And I can admit to you that you get to have both. I thought for the longest time that you had to choose one or the other, but now I'm of the opinion that you can have time and financial freedom. And I am proof of this each and every single day. And I see this in so many other entrepreneurs. And I want to let you know that you can have more. In order to scale, you do not have to work harder. So, what got you here won't get you there. And that's the problem. That is why you are feeling stuck right now. So many women struggle to scale because they think they need new strategies, better tools, additional staff. Like you feel like, okay, I've got to six figures. Now to get to the next level, it takes something different. Like, oh, I just need to bring in new staff members to take things off my plate. And there is nothing wrong with having people on your team. I am a big proponent of having teammates to take things off your plate that you don't love, that you don't enjoy, that aren't your zone of genius. But the key to growing isn't growing a staff, like it isn't having more people, just like it's not a new strategy. So here's a truth bomb, and I want you to really, really listen to these words I'm about to tell you. Scaling has nothing to do with strategy and everything to do with your mindset and your self imposed glass ceiling. I'm going to say this again. Growing your business, scaling your business has nothing to do with strategy and everything to do with your mindset and your self imposed glass ceiling. So you're probably like, Jen, okay, that's great, but what is this glass ceiling? You've maybe heard the term, you maybe are a little bit of aware of it. So I want to help you understand a little bit better about what this glass ceiling is. And first of all, you're not alone. Every single one of us has a glass ceiling. This is just innate. It is part of our DNA. It is part of our, wiring in our brain. We all have a glass ceiling. And these are the levels of money where we're comfortable of earning. And it's not even just money, it's wealth, it's abundance, it's assets, it's all the things around us. It's that abundance and that lifestyle that we truly believe we are comfortable and what is available to us. So I mentioned a little bit earlier that I easily scaled my first business, that I got up to 75K, but then I got stuck. And I just want to briefly share this story with you because this will illustrate this just like perfectly so that you really understand what I'm talking about. So I left my corporate career in my late 20s and decided to go out and start a consulting business. And at first, I leveraged, my old contacts, I leveraged some old past clients, and I quickly, within a few months, grew my business to 75K per year. And in that first couple months, I thought to myself, you know what? This feels really easy. This is amazing. Like, I am so successful. This is going to work out. I'm going to get to six figures. This is going to be great. But the problem is, once I got to that 75K level, everything I was doing previously all of a sudden stopped work. It was like I hit a brick wall. Everything was working, everything was going good. It was magical, it was amazing, and then it just stopped. And I stayed stuck there for 3 entire years. And I just kept working harder, working more, hustling more. I kept hearing from, other entrepreneurs and the gurus out there, just hustle, just work harder. It'll all work out. It'll all come together. And after 3 years of this, of working 50, 60 plus hours a week, all I ended up with was burnout and actually having to walk away from my first business because I had literally caused myself a medical issue, like major, massive. My body was so burnt out. I couldn't even function anymore. I couldn't sleep. My brain didn't work. It all just literally my life come crumbling down around me. But thankfully, that was exactly what I needed to then get me started in the right direction into what actually a sustainable, successful business really looks like. And through that experience, I uncovered that I had this glass ceiling, this upper limit that told me what I was comfortable making. And for me, that 75K that I was stuck at, it was equated to my last corporate income prior to starting my business. So in my last corporate job, I made 75K per year. So in my brain, I created this glass ceiling, this limiting belief that told me you're not worth more than someone else is willing to pay for you. And that, a comfort zone, that ceiling I created was based off of that income level. And these earnings are your comfort zone. And our glass ceiling, once we hit that glass ceiling, once I hit that 75K, it starts challenging your deeper belief systems. At 75K, I feel comfortable at that level because that's what I've made before. But as soon as I tried going past, all of a sudden, those deep limiting beliefs, those belief systems I had, were screaming at me, you're not worthy of this. Who do you think you are to make that kind of money? You know what? Why would someone listen to you? You're only 28 years old. Who are you to be talking, business and success and all these other things? Even though I was really freaking amazing at what I did and all my clients loved me, I kept hitting these challenges and they were self-imposed challenges. It was me making things harder than they needed to be. I was not the person who made six figures, who made multiple six figures. And the thing is the person that you need to be to achieve 100K is not who you need to be to hit 500K. And that was one of the biggest lessons I ever had to learn. And one of the biggest lessons was uncovering what those limiting beliefs are that are creating that, glass ceiling for yourself. So right now, you're currently the version of yourself who makes $100,000 a year. That is how you got here. That is why you were able to get here, but that is also why you are stuck. So in order to earn half a million, you need to become the version of yourself who already receives that level of abundance. And you're like, okay, Jen, like, whatever, like, this is that fake it till you make it bullshit that I keep hearing about. And I'm with you. And it's not fake it till you make it. I am totally against that. This isn't about pretending to be somebody you're not. This is about embodying the person who you are at the core, who is at that 500,000 level already. It's not about changing your core values, about changing who you are, your personality. It's about upgrading your internal programming about what you believe you're worthy of receiving and stepping into that version. That old version of me only believed she was worthy and deserving of the $75,000 that her last corporate job paid her. Now, the version of me is totally different because I work to upgrade my mindset and my worth and who I am at the core and my identity so that now achieving multiple six figures and beyond is easy for me because I identify as the person who achieves that and makes it easy. And I did that through my three-part mindset shift. And you can use this exact same mindset shift to help you step into that $500,000 identity as well. So, my freedom frequency formula is my proven process that helps ambitious women scale their business while working less and earning more. And I'm going to quickly go into each of the three steps so that you can see what it takes to scale your business with ease while working less and actually getting to enjoy life. So, step one, and this is the most important step of the entire process, and it is the reason you are stuck. And that is you need to remove the blocks, those internal, invisible, limiting beliefs that are controlling your results. So, right now, you have blocks that are saying you can't do that. We all have them, and we all have them at multiple levels in our business. And as long as you are carrying around these subconscious blocks and they're still hanging out there and you haven't removed them, they're going to keep you stuck. Some very common ones. I've worked with hundreds of women over the years, and a lot of the same ones come up over and over and over again in all the women. The number one that comes up in every single woman I've worked with is I'm not worthy. Some version of I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not worthy of the next level of success, whatever it is. Because our self worth is our number one block, and we are going to hit some sort of self worth issue at every new income level. But the thing is once you learn this process, moving through each of these up limits, up levels, moving past each of these glass ceilings throughout your journey, it gets to be easier and easier. The second most common one that I literally see in every woman out there is money blocks. Things like people won't pay me that much, or who am I to charge that? Or maybe you heard your parents say things like mine that, money doesn't grow on trees, or saying bad things about people who had lots of wealth and, flaunted it, and hearing them talk negatively about those people. That makes us fear becoming that successful, wealthy person who has a lot of money because, well, our parents didn't like those type of people. So if I become that type of person, are they not going to like me? And then the third one, which I also hear a lot, is success requires hard work and sacrifice. If you're like me and you're a millennial, Gen X, I think it is, those 40, 50 age group, then you probably heard this a lot. Our parents grew up in the area where they were ingrained with the belief that you work hard, you go to college, you go to university, you get a degree, you get a good job, you work really, really hard until you're 65, 70, and then you retire, and then you can enjoy life. And this is ingrained in them that success requires hard work and sacrifice. And they push that then out onto us. I know as I heard as a child, you need to get a good job. You need to marry someone who makes good money so that you can have a nice lifestyle. You know what? Hard work doesn't just fall, success doesn't fall in your lap. Money isn't easy to make. You have to work hard for it. So what happens? We get into this hustle programming and we feel like we have to work hard, and then we don't actually allow it to be easy. For myself, that's what happened in my first business. At first, it felt easy which went against the programs I had that it wasn't easy. So then my brain starts creating roadblocks for myself and starts actually making business hard so that it matched up with my belief system. So not only did I believe I wasn't worth more than 75K, I also believed that I had to work really hard to get there. And because at first I thought it was easy and even said that out loud, well, this is easy, my brain goes, beep, beep, back up the bus, stop everything. You don't believe it's easy. We don't believe that success gets to be easy. It has to be hard. So we're going to start making things hard so it actually aligns with your programming. So you see how these little thoughts hiding in the background are silently sabotaging you? The next one, and this one happens quite often too, is fear of success. And you're thinking, oh no, no, Jen, it's fear of failure. But actually, the fear of success is more common than fear of failure because fear of success is fear of unknown. And our brain hates the unknown. It'll do everything to stop us and keep us in our comfort zone. And fear of success can look at like things like, what if I can't handle it? What if I get super successful and I can't manage the money? I can't manage this many clients. I will get burnt out. Those kind of things. Or big one that goes back to money blocks and even self-worth is, what will people think? What will my friends and family think of me if I'm super successful? If I'm making a ton of money, if I'm buying nice cars and nice homes, will people think differently of me? Will I lose friends? Will people disown me? Very, very common. And then we get the one that is also common, fear of failure. What if I lose it all? What if it doesn't work? The thing is, though, with fear of failure, is you're just going back to way life used to be. So our brain actually kind of likes that failure because it's like, oh, we're just going back to our comfort zone. But there's also that fear of, what if I do it, but then I lose it? And this one plagued me because in my life, in my younger years, my dad had a super successful business, made lots of money, worked really hard to do it, was never home, but then he lost it all right before my 18th birthday. So I had this belief of, okay, what if I create this amazing business? I'm making lots of money. I create this amazing lifestyle for myself again, like I had when I was a child. But then again, I lose it all and I'm heartbroken and I lose everything that I love. It's it it hits you, doesn't it? And that you're like, oh God, yeah. And that one for me, it was one of the ones that caused the most pain and the most heartbreak. And one of the things that I feared the most is I didn't want to lose it all again. And then one other one that is also very common is time equals money. And this looks like the more money I make, sorry, more money I have, the more I have to work to earn it. So it's that dollars for money thing. We think that it equates to hours worked equals money, and we have to move past that. Or it's, I'm already missing out on life. I don't want to miss out even more. And this is the one that like I see a lot at this 100K level is women got here through the hustle, through the hard work, like I talked about. And you're like, I want to make more, but I'm already missing out on things and I don't want to miss out on more. So I'm just going to keep myself here because if I work more to make more, then I'm going to miss out on even more. And then what's the point? So, which one of these, I want you to think, one of them is probably stuck out in your mind right now. And which one is that? Which one kind of resonates with you? And maybe it's all of them, because when I first started this journey, I resonated with all of these type of beliefs and so much more. And that's the thing. We don't have just one limiting belief that is blocking us right now. We all have multiple levels of them that come up at different time points in our journey. And like I said, these glass ceilings, they pop up. Maybe the first one's at 100K. That's the most common level I see these start popping up in women who are ready to scale. And then quite often it comes up again, say at 250, and then maybe 500,000, then maybe 1 million. And as you hit these glass ceilings throughout your success, you're going to run up against these limiting beliefs. But the good thing about these is that once you identify them, once you know that they're there, you can remove them. And it can be easy to remove them. You don't have to do years of counseling. You don't have to say affirmations over and over again 20 million times a day. Removing them gets to be easy. And the easy solution is clinical hypnotherapy. And it removes these blocks at the subconscious level permanently, easily, and quickly. These are stored in our subconscious. And so if we want to reprogram them, we have to go to where the programs are. Think of it like if you want to reprogram a computer. You're not just going to change the things on the screen. You're not going to go into Word and rewrite code on Word and expect it to change things on your computer. No, you have to go into the computer's brain and you have to recode in there so that the things on the screen show up differently. And it's the exact same thing for your mindset and for these limiting beliefs. When you use hypnotherapy, you can easily dive in, uncover exactly what your belief is that's blocking you at this exact moment, and remove it permanently and easily. And then once we've removed those beliefs, this is when we start upgrading our identity. This is when we start stepping into that next level version of ourselves because our identity drives everything. Identity drives all our behaviors and our results. So $100,000 Jen versus $500,000 Jen, we think differently, we feel differently, and we operate completely differently. How I showed up to grow my business to 100,000 is not how I needed to show up and act and think and have the mindset programs that I did to get to that next level. And this isn't about becoming someone else. We've already talked about that. It's about stepping into the highest version of yourself. It's about asking yourself these questions. How would $500,000 a year Jen show up? How would she price her services? Would she be discounting herself to every random person just to get the sale? Would she be discounting herself or lowering her prices so that she could appeal to the masses? How would she spend her time? Would she fill her time with make work activities that don't actually generate income to make herself feel like she's earning her money? Or would she only do the things she needed to do, spend the time on the important tasks, do the things she needed to do to bring in the money, and then spend the rest of her time actually enjoying her money? And then how would she make decisions? Would she make decisions from the version of her making 100,000 who's hustling and struggling to get there, who's, putting every dime back into her business and reinvesting and working with the coaches and the people and just hustling? Or would she make decisions from the woman who's already successful, the woman who's already working only 25 hours a week and making $500,000 a year or more? And then how would she handle challenges? Would she shut down? Oh my God, this is all my fault. You know what? I can't do this. This isn't available to me. Who am I to think could be my life? Blah, blah, blah. Or would she think of it from her $500,000 self and go, okay, if I don't have the answer, who does? Where do I get the help from? Maybe I just need to take a day or two and think on this. You know what? Who can I reach out to? Who do I have in my world that's gone through this before that could help me make this easy? These are the questions that help you start up leveling to that next level version of yourself. Because remember, you're still you. Your values, who you are at the core is still the same. You're just stepping into the next level version, that more successful version of yourself. And by asking yourself these questions and starting to embody that identity, you can start getting that success now. You can start embodying this identity now. So you want to start embodying this identity before the results show up. That's the biggest thing you can take away from this entire section. You're not going to wait till you're already the $500,000 version of yourself to step in. You have to step into your $500,000 self version before the $500,000 will show up to you. And your external reality will shift to match your internal identity. This is where step one comes in and removing your limiting beliefs. So when you remove your internal beliefs, you're actually shifting your internal identity, and your external reality and how you're showing up actually gets to be easier. So when you remove those limiting beliefs and you start thinking about who do I need to be to have that $500,000 year, having those old identities gone actually makes it easier. And again, this isn't fake it till you make it. This is just stepping into that next level version of you. And this becomes much easier once those subconscious blocks are removed. And then once you've stepped into that identity of the version of you who makes $500,000, then we're into step three, taking aligned intuitive action. And the biggest mistake that I see in all the clients that have come to me over the years is most entrepreneurs skip straight to this step. This is why they struggle to grow past six figures. Everyone's looking for the next strategy, the next action to take, the next thing to implement. But When you try to take action from a place of limiting beliefs and old identities, it feels like pushing a boulder uphill. So instead of going straight to action, okay, I'm stuck. What's a new strategy? I'm going to work with this coach. I'm going to take that course. Oh, there's a new messaging course. Oh, there's a new course on scaling from that person. Stop. It's not that you don't know what you're doing. It's not the strategies that don't work. It's that you weren't ready to receive the results they could create. And this is the truth about strategy. So you are probably sitting right now on the most perfect strategy that will help you scale to $500,000 and beyond, exactly what you need to do this, but you're not implementing it. You're not implementing it to its fullest. You're not seeing its potential, or you've maybe just dismissed it. Maybe you went through part of the course and you never finished because you're like, oh, this isn't for me. Or your identity was too challenged and you're like, something made you not finish. So you need to stop focusing on taking action and working on steps 1 and 2 first, because that's what's keeping you stuck. So when action becomes effortless, when you do steps 1 and 2 first, suddenly the action feels easy. And you already have the knowledge from all these courses and coaches. And the difference is now you can actually implement without self sabotage. So tell me if I'm wrong. You already have the tools. You know how to scale. You got yourself to 6 figures. You have the tools to grow. You have the tools to attract in new ideal clients, how to close them. You have the tools to build group programs and courses and additional offerings. But what is actually stopping you from doing it? Because I'm guessing that's what's happening right now, is you're not actually implementing what you need to be implementing. And it's not just about about taking action, it's about taking the right actions. So if you're not taking the right aligned actions, it's not going to work for you. So there are tons of, business tools and processes and funnel courses and scaling courses out there. But the thing is not every single one is right for you. Just because it's a proven strategy doesn't mean it's the right strategy. So you have to start learning how to trust your intuition over everyone else's like proven strategies in order to get success. Because just because something worked for someone else doesn't mean it's right for you. And many of us entrepreneurs, I admit I am totally guilty of this. You've forgotten how to listen to your own inner guidance. And I did this forever, like probably the first 30 years of my life. I spent most of my life ignoring those intuitive nudges, those gut feelings, to the point where they honestly just disappeared. Once I started removing my limiting beliefs and was ready to start listening to them again, they were non existent because I'd ignored them for so long. I literally had to work to bring them back. And our inner guidance, that inner knowing, that inner voice is there for a reason. That is our brain. That is universe, God, whatever you believe in, guiding us to the right thing. So if you're getting an intuitive nudge about a specific program, a specific course, that is your intuition telling you this is what could work. And your intuition will guide you to the strategies that work best for your unique business and situation. And remember, you already have a lot of these. You already have a lot of this information. You're just not implementing. And you'll find that as you shift your mindset blocks, as you shift your identity, you're going to start actually implementing these things that you want to do fully. And you may even just shift them. You may take a course and learn so many amazing things, but it just doesn't quite feel like you. So then you're going to put your own spin on it and add your own twist to it. And all of a sudden, you're going to blow up and it's going to be exactly what you needed because you listened to your intuition and you did it the way you needed to do in order for it to be successful. And when limiting beliefs are gone and identity is upgraded, you can implement strategies to their fullest extent instead of half heartedly. And if you want to go more in depth into this 3-step process and learn more about how this can actually help you grow your business to $500,000 plus, I want you to grab my free mini course, How to Break Through Your Income Ceiling and Manifest Consistent 20K plus months in your business. The link is in the description below. And if you're ready to stop being the entrepreneur who just makes 100K and start being the one who naturally receives 500K plus, I've created the Wealth Recode, a complete 6-week transformation that removes the exact subconscious blocks keeping you stuck at your current income. Hard work and hustle got you to 100K, but it's also what's keeping you stuck there. If you want to know more and finally break through to multiple six figures and beyond, head to the link in the description below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that helps you make way more money while working way less hours.